a doctor, so he had a costume with like of scrubs. He had scrubs on,
Right.
and then I guess when I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
But I ended up needing one when I got older.
And we all have.
So I wanted to be a lawyer, so I had like a little vest on with a button up with some slacks. And I had a little Nokia phone in my belt, like that didn't work anymore. So it was so funny. Like we were just cheesing in that picture, looking so happy, man.
You know what I'm saying? Pictures speaks 1,000 words, and that's why I think we miss out in our lives, right? Those times, like your mom. You say your mom's coming up here after 2 years. You haven't seen your mom. Like just think about the reminiscing. I miss those days.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I really do. Like me and my sisters, damn, I just forgot. Thursday, my oldest sister just turned 60, bro. My oldest sister turned 60.
Happy B-Day, sis.
Right, I'm sorry. I didn't call you. You know what I'm saying? I'm bad, brother. But you know what I'm saying? Like 60 years old.
What?
Nah, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like,
happy birthday, sis.
I try not to sugarcoat my upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's I think that's what people really hate about me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have no problem letting go, but I just, like, I was never the one to talk about my upbringing because it's like it's so dark. You know what I'm saying? And then like, people get butt hurt over it.
Is that something that you still like unfolding and trying to like heal from?
Absolutely, bro. Yeah. I see my therapist twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not ashamed of that because she's helped me get through a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And she's been there, very supportive, you know what I'm saying? And she allows me to control the room. You know what I'm saying? I get to talk when I'm ready to talk about things, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people force stuff out of you because they think that's the best way for you to heal.
Yeah.
But no, sometimes healing takes progress and healing takes time. So when I was, we'll get into the conversation, you know what I'm saying? But like, not that I'm afraid to talk about them. It's like right now we, let's just keep it positive.
Most definitely. No, most definitely.
So I mean, like it's every black man has a story, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, in these athletes, they all have stories, bro.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've heard LeBron James talk about his mom and stuff like
all
that.
The time.
You know what I'm saying? All the time. So like everybody has different stories to bring with their parents. I think a lot of people sugarcoat the shit out of their family because they don't want to talk bad or talk ill about somebody.
Yeah.
But that's not growth. You got to release that shit in you that you hold inside for all them years and stuff that you like when you and your dad. When you first seen your dad or spent time with your dad, right? I'm pretty sure there was a little bit of like, really? You know what I'm saying?
Like just trying to figure it out.
When you were, why are you going to try to tell me something now?
And what's crazy though, man, me and my dad, and we have the best relationship that we probably ever had in my life right now.
That's what's up, bro.
And
I'm jealous.
But what's crazy is it's like you would think it would have took a therapist. I feel like maybe we still, you know what I'm saying, just for our mental, it may be necessary still,
right? Because
he lost a son and I lost an older brother. So like even during that time of grievance, I was around my dad at the time, and I know that was my first time like grieving in a way that I never grieved before. So I was grieving around him, seeing him not grieving.
Right.
So but his form of grieving was just like staying focused on other stuff and just working, just drowning himself in work.
You can't blame people for that though.
Emotionless.
Right.
Like
some people grieve differently.
And one time I pulled him into my room and I just had to ask him, like, not even knowing or, not even knowing or thinking about the response I was going to get, but I was just real concerned as a son, just asking him, like, are you okay? And that was probably the first time I probably asked my dad that, probably like ever.
Really?
Yeah, a few years ago. And I just told him, like, Dad, you got to grieve,
Thanks.
And, I asked him, have you thought about talking to somebody and stuff like that? And, we got into some other stuff, but, I was able to understand where he was at that moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that kind of brought us closer, at that moment, even though it broke us apart, later on. But we were able to reconnect. And like I said, man, it's like we had the best relationship that we probably ever had before right now.
I think that takes a big person, bro. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, go to your father and say, "Hey, you okay?" Because our perspective isn't that the father's job to make sure his kid is okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's beautiful that you being a young man to see that your father is struggling with grieving. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, you don't. To me, I don't think. Let's discuss this. I don't think there's a lot of people chiming into this. It's different being a black man growing up in a predominant white country, when they look down on us and they expose us to being a lesser race, right? And they don't see the struggle we go through. They don't understand being black is really hard. You know what I'm saying? That we really have to get up every morning and rethink things. You know what I'm saying? How our day gonna go about? Am I gonna some people literally, JD, am I gonna live to see another day?
Yeah.
Bro, I promise you on my life, bro. And I told you before, I'm not here to go talk about my past life, where the streets I ran into, but like, bro, like, I didn't think I would be this age right now. I didn't see a lot of my friends grow up to see this age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really lucky to be here in the experiences, things I'm experiencing now in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, because of our color of our skin. And I know, like, a lot of our listeners are like, don't can't relate to that.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not asking you to understand. I'm just asking you to listen and do your part to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's I think it's needed, right? Like, you can't relate. A white man can't relate with the struggles I go through in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you did was empowering. Like you said, like we just talked about earlier, your dad was not in your life all the time.
Yeah.
And for you to give a damn about how he feeling, it's empowering. Because most people resent their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Because they were not in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom struggled to put food on our table. You know what I'm saying? And it would have been easier for a second income to be there. You feel me? But you chose to run the streets and do different things. Now the family struggles. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're 100% right to understand that you know what I'm saying? Like, what credit? Like, I just told you today, what credit do I give anybody about how my life turned out? Who was really in my life? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just the realist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can hate me, you can disagree with me, you say, man, you bogus for that. I don't give a damn, because you can walk a mile in my shoes. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, anybody. I wouldn't want that for you. I wouldn't want you to live the life I lived and experience the things I experienced. You know what I'm saying? When I hear that, what you just said about your father, I wish I had opportunity to say it to my father. I wish he gave me the opportunity to relate with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's I told you, what you just said was so empowering to a lot of people out there, because a lot of people out there don't have fathers.
Yeah.
And they resent their fathers.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you just said about athletes. There's some athletes, like, don't fuck with their father. You know what I'm saying? Because now they got this money. They probably want to come in the picture now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and shitting on them.
I don't want that. I'm not trying to hear all that right now.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to understand, like, it's important. And going back to what we talked about with your friends, you know what I'm saying? It's important for you to be not just part of that that child's growth and watch it, but to be part of if they father start to slack up, that you can say, bro, I didn't grow with a father. Your kid needs that, man.
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
This platform can use to tell fathers out there today, and we talking to you, lame ass niggas out there trying to run these streets and do these things, man. Be part of your kid's life, because there's people out there right now that need their father right now. They need their fathers in their lives, and they're absent because why? We doing our own things, or we out there, remarried, and don't look at, bro. I may not be the best father in the world, and I'm not ashamed to say that, but I am here. I'm the realest father you ever met, because I tell my kids exactly how it is.
Facts.
I'm not here. I'm not U.S. Bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to support your habits and shit like that. But I'm here to support you if you're trying to grow. I'm still trying to invest in land so I can leave my kids something behind. You feel me? I'm always looking out for my kids, my family. You feel me? But it's like if we did have that father figure, your father owned his own business, right? You said,
Yeah.
Just imagine how your life could have been different. You know, I don't know. I know you have never, and I'm telling you this, guys. I've never known this man never spoke anything about his father, his mother, until we met a little bit, right? I tell you right now, your life would have been totally different. Your career in sports could have been very different if your father was there. I
believe so.
Because you later on in life, you started to bond with your father, right? Just think that bond was there in the beginning, homie.
Hell yeah.
How different it would have been. I'm not saying that every man in this world should be in part of a kid's life, because some fathers should be in their kid's life because they're doing no justice being present.
It's so complex, man, because like sometimes it doesn't even start with us. We sometimes even have to look at, did my father and mother grew up with a father or a 2-parent household?
Look at
my mom lost her dad at 5 years old, and my dad watched his father overdose with his heart bursting in the alley.
What?
Yeah, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying? So both of my parents, they had a father. You know?
So that played a big part.
So you know what I'm saying? So like, and I feel like, you know, being so descriptive with my dad losing his father versus my mom father died from poisoning. But you know, that's what I'm saying. Losing their fathers in unfortunate events.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It shaped them.
Absolutely.
So you know what I'm saying? So I had to understand that, you know, especially with my dad, because my mom was around.
Right.
We just always had, my mom's side, we just always had a strong supportive system.
So that's beautiful.
Period.
That's beautiful.
But with my dad, man, it's like, man, he come from a rough place in New Orleans.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different world out there.
You know, it's so crazy because my mom had, at some point in her life, had a mother and father. And then my mom was legitimately like my grandfather's favorite child.
Mm.
So to me, she had no excuses. Because my grandfather owned a bunch of houses. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather had the corner store in his back, in part of his house. He had a store where he had stole penny candy and stuff out of. We used to go there. Yeah. And it's like, so I don't see, you know what I'm saying? Like we had this, but you know what I'm saying? Like it was that old ways of bringing us up. You know what I'm saying? Like, like a child is better heard than not seen. You know what I'm saying? Like we was always sent outside to play and never around, the conversation of grown folks. We were being guarded.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're learning. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, I still like them old ways. You know what I'm saying? I think the kids should stay in a kid's place.
You're right. Hey, that's still a saying that I live by right now. Absolutely. To this day.
And when you bring these children to the world, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that, because
to this day,
it's beautiful for a kid to enjoy their lives.
Yeah, be innocent.
Be innocent, exactly. Because there's so much out here can turn you to be something else.
Yeah, be innocent. And kids soak stuff up like a sponge.
This world is. That's why I say it's. I really take my hat off to your friends who's bringing these kids in this world right now.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I'm dropping names. Shout out to my bros, DJ, man. Just the best father and husband that he can be. The only husband out the friend group.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Cody, man. He the one that lost his mother, raised by his father, my favorite white boy. And then, man, Mo, we up next, bro. We up next. We the last two in our friend group that ain't got no kids. But we up next, man. The conversations that we have is just, is just really like solid, and deep. And we just understand where we are in our lives and what we want out of our lives still. And my homie David, he's the one that just had the newborn. So he's the new father that went into fatherhood. So I love y'all boys, bro.
That's what's up. So